Well, I've joined the Council of Europe many years ago. I think it's going to be 23 years now in November. But before that, I've spent a couple of years with the diplomatic service of my country of origin, Slovenia. A short time in Ljubljana, because these were pioneer days of Slovenian diplomatic service, and then 3 years at our Slovenian representation in Brussels to the European Union, or communities as it was known at the time. The first and most important impression was simply respect about and really a very positive impression about the wealth, the diversity and the quality of the activities that have been developed and are carried out by our youth sector in cooperation with our partners. This is, of course, did not come as a complete surprise. I've been in these 23 years in the organization following the work in the youth sector. I even started my Council of Europe career, if you want, by working on youth activities in the Parliamentary Assembly. But nevertheless, once you come here, you get the very close direct contact with that. It really is a universe that must impress everyone. First of all, it's the realization of the very simple truth that our democracies cannot function without engaged, committed and empowered citizens. It cannot function without people who understand and embrace democracy and are ready and are willing and have the skills that are necessary to take part in democracy. And I think that youth and youth organizations have an indispensable role in facilitating, enabling the population, young people, to participate meaningfully in the process. The important things is the recognition, really, of this very important role which I have just described, and on two levels, I would say. First of all, the recognition of the importance that investing in people's understanding and commitment and participation in democracy has for the Council of Europe as a whole, and for the mission of the Council of Europe, which is to protect and promote democracy, human rights and rule of law. And secondly, to fully acknowledge, understand and support the role that the youth activities have in that overall effort. The assessment I would offer, the very sober and very preoccupying analysis and the findings in the last report of the Secretary General on the state of democracy, human rights and the rule of law, which was presented to the ministers, foreign ministers in May in Denmark, and which describes, I would say, an extremely preoccupying picture of the situation in which civil society organizations, instead of being recognized and supported as an indispensable part of the system of checks and balances in a democratic society, are increasingly seen as a foreign agent, as somebody who works against the will of the nation, and in that growingly populist take on the functioning of democratic institutions, they're being squeezed out and their voice is suppressed. And the preoccupying, additional preoccupying element in all this is that tendency, which had existed for some time but had been relatively contained to some countries, is now growing geographically as well.